Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning on VOP TV. We heard during the weekend, even yesterday, about how 17 soldiers lost their life in the community in Delta State. But anyway, in line with that, the Nigerian Army invaded Igbomotoru community in Bayelsa State, allegedly killing 11 people and destroying properties. The invasion was in a quest to find the militant leader allegedly involved in the killing of 16 military personnel on a rescue mission in Delta State. A former Lieutenant Koko Imananga has advised the military men to go after the killers of the soldiers and hold the offenders accountable rather than the community as a whole. The military is a trained organization whose responsibility is to defend its citizens rather than destroying them. Still on insecurity issues bedeviling the nation, a group of terrorists abducted 87 people in a fresh attack on the Kajuru Station community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. The terrorists allegedly broke into some shops and stole food items. The attack came barely 2 days after 15 women and a man were abducted in the Dongonoma community of the same local government. The growing level of insecurity has resulted in fear, panic, and a cry for help by Nigerians. Like I told us earlier, we have Mr. Lawale Kundaya, who is a farmer, educationist, and a public affairs commentator in the studio, and he will help look into this while we'll also get across our virtual guests. Now, Mr. Lawale, you're smiling, but this is not the time to smile because we're looking at the way things are playing in the country. We heard of how soldiers who went on a peace talk lost their life in Delta State. And that actually has led to the community, that's Okuama Community now having or facing a challenge whereby buildings have been burnt, some demolished, and the soldiers are looking for the people who did this particular evil, what I call it, yeah, the killing actually is not a good one. And so many people have talked about it. The president says the military should go ahead to fish out the perpetrators of this evil. And the past, or rather, ex-vice president, I'm speaking about Atiku Abubakar and even Peter Obi of Labour Party, they were of the opinion that reprisal attack is not what we need. But now, what do you make of this? People went for peacekeeping or peace talk, and they were ambushed, according to the story, and they were killed. What do you make of it?
Now, to start with, I condemn the act. Because they are Nigerians, apart from that they are soldiers, they are Nigerians and they are on their lawful, legitimate business according to the constitution. And then they were killed by people that are supposed not to even hold a weapon. So those people who have committed two offenses. One, they are not supposed to hold firearms. It's against the constitution, the law. And second, they killed. So they need to be brought to book to serve as a deterrent, you get it, to others. Now, and then the families must be adequately, fully, and fully compensated in such a way that the others, you get it, will not be looking back anytime they want to go out.
The families should be compensated.
Yes, the families of the soldiers should be properly compensated.
Okay.
You get it? Not compensation of giving them something to just say, no, their families must be taking care of, their children must be taking care of, free education up to the university level. That must be done for all of those slain soldiers. Now that is one side.
On one side, okay.
Now, the other side is that the government has shown its loopholes again to the world.
How do you
Good.
mean?
Because it shows that the soldiers are ill-equipped. They are ill-informed.
I will beg to disagree.
Okay. And
I'm
waiting for you.
Because from the reports we gathered, the soldiers were on a peacekeeping mission.
You see,
going on a peacekeeping mission to a community, it's not a war zone.
So do you know what they call peace mission?
It's not a war zone.
No, excuse me. Do you know
when
what?
you're going on a peacekeeping mission, are you supposed to go with armored vehicles?
That is why I tell you, you don't know, you are forgotten, you know, but you are forgotten what they called military peace mission. Do you know
let's even look at what is going on within the community, Okoloba and Okuama.
Two communities we are warring.
What is the role of the military to start with?
Thank you. The military itself, you get it, is a combat.
To do what? Protect territorial integrity of the nation.
Wait. The moment it's like you send a dog. A guard dog will not go. You get it, and begin to play with somebody who is coming into your house. The moment you have a guard dog, it's not a pet. It's a guard dog. If you leave it to roam around, it's going to injure people because it's a guard dog. That's why you see a guard dog being changed. You only release it and they put sign, beware, I'm coming. When you say a peace mission and you are sending there are two types of peace mission. You get it? There's the civilian peace mission which you send diplomats. They go as civilian. When you send a military,
I want us to do,
I'm coming.
What I want us to do is put this in perspective.
I'm coming. I want to analyze that peace mission for you so that you remember. That peace mission, the moment you send a military as a peace...
are you privy to who sent them, actually?
See, anytime they are going out, they are armed. Because they are military. That's their job. They have no any other job except to go there and suppress whatever with force. They are not going there to smile. When they go out on peace mission, they are going out to suppress. You get it? That's their own style of peace mission. You have ECOMOG, you have US peace mission, you have ECOWAS peace mission. That's ECOMOG. You have the moment you say peace mission, what they are going there to do is to suppress whosoever is warring there. So you have two communities warring together, and you are sending military.
That's your definition of a peace mission.
No. It's a military peace mission. What is the work of ECOMOG? When there was a war, when there was a crisis in Liberia and Sierra Leone, and then we have our own peace mission, ECOMOG.
To ensure that
so when they went there to smile. No, they went there with weapons. They went there to suppress the warring parties. They went there with arms. If you don't put down your arms, we are coming in to.
Now let's bring it home. Now we're talking within. Now
two warring nations.
No. They're not warring.
Two warring community. They were fighting. There's a war.
Warring community. Is that war? It's
with weapons, clash with. Are they clashing with? We are clashing with words here now. We are clashing with words. There's a clash here. Now these ones are clashing with weapons, and you are going there to speak word to them. Come on. No, you are going there to suppress them.
There's a school of thought that believes that in the first place the military should not have been involved in this. Do you share that? Share that ideology?
No.
Because this is an event within a community where we have policing taking place.
Do you know there's a crisis already in that area? There's subsisting crisis in that area.
Agree.
And the military were there with the naval officers. You get it? To maintain peace in that area. So that's why they were there. They were not in their place. They were there as battalions. You get it? To maintain, to prevent those communities from warring again, to take arms away from those who are with arms. That's why they are there. So that this community, we don't want fighting. Those who have arms, arrest them, take arms from them, so that we can have peace in that area. So when you want to do that, you are going there with equipment. Fighting equipment. You get what I'm saying? Now, they now called the military that, please come to suppress. That's what you call peace keeping mission. Suppress this war, fighting communities, so that we can have peace. So they are going there with a higher firepower, so that they can suppress those ones and take away the warring parties.
Right.
And then you are now going there like a civilian. It is we that the law did not permit to use weapons, that we can go there to talk to them diplomatically. But military don't go and talk diplomatically.
Okay.
So and the second, I'm coming. Sorry, I want to say something. I want to say something before you talk. I'm sorry. And then, when a soldier is properly equipped, in fact, apart from what they put on, even when they are not ready to fight, they just go with a light arm. There is always a camera I think it's on their chest or in their helmet that records everything that is happening for analysis when they get back to barracks. So if they have this equipment, they are properly equipped. All these things will be, in fact, there will be a drone that will be monitoring the environment. That's why you see Americans, you see Russia, you see Iran fighting with drones. They have a surveillance drone. The surveillance drone will go over that area to first of all survey that area to see what is. It's not fighting. It's just a surveillance for reconnaissance to survey that area before the military will knock on. So they are going in with not blind to know where they are going. So whoever is hiding with weapons, the surveillance drone will have detected them and say, no, some people are hiding in some areas, some people are. So it will just fly over that area, give them information what they need. So wherever they are going, the camera is already in front of it here, and they pick everything.
All right.
So you know what you are facing. Not that they will just come out and shoot a whole military. So
now the deed has been done. The deed has been done. And let me take you back a bit to some of the statements, the headlines from some of the dailies. Now, Vanguard, to be very, very precise, from the Vanguard newspaper, the DHQ did say that there will be measured response and injurious consequences for perpetrators. Now, what we have seen so far, a situation whereby communities basically are being sacked, houses razed, guns fired, people running to neighboring communities for shelter, and the military is saying, look, this is happening because they were complicit in it. The communities are being blamed, or the community rather, is being blamed for harboring these people, these youths or these individuals, because we're hearing different things. We're hearing that some ex-militant leaders or personnel were hired by the community to come help fight their the other community, Yokoloba, and it is the militants or that perpetrated this evil. So now the raising of the communities, is that the way to go? You cited the Western world in your analysis of having to go survey a place before you go and before you go in, so you don't go in blind. And we also do know that from what we have been exposed to in the Western world, how they go about activities, they also don't just go to a community or a neighborhood and start burning houses. They don't just pick the family members of those and start harming them. Even if they get to pick family members, they arrest them and have them tell them where their relatives are, so they can bring them in or use them to get the perpetrators in. But what we are seeing is that the way to go?
That's why I said Nigerian Army is ill-equipped.
That doesn't answer the question of, is that the answer? Burning of communities, is that the answer? That's not being equipped.
No, it's when you say equipped, you can be mentally equipped, you can be physically equipped, you can be material equipped. You get it? In fact, I don't expect them to be saying that harmed, people will be harmed. And what I simply expect them to say that the perpetrators will be brought to book. That is all. You don't need to be saying that people, that means you are going there to harm people. Because you say people will be harmed. Now, this thing has been done. We all know, you get it, a reasonable thinking person knows that the perpetrators will have escaped. Of course, they will quickly run away from that area and leave the innocent people there. So when you get there, you will mostly see the innocent people. That's why I said they are ill-equipped. Their form of training does not involve how to gather informations. That's why you see all this happening. You get it? If they have enough method of gathering information, in fact, the moment that thing happened, something will have prompted the others somewhere else. You get it? That their mates, you get, are facing a firepower at that moment.
A superior firepower.
And there's something, there will be reinforcements immediately sent to that. It could be an helicopter combat chopper that's coming in with reinforcement into that area to support those areas. Even if they are dead, they will still get to that place and then they will still see those people who did that. You are coming days after. They will have escaped, of course, we know that. Now, that's why I said they are not properly equipped. Second, we know now that they are hungry. You get it? So that's why they are going in to do what they are doing. But when the soldiers kill innocent people, have they not committed the same thing that the militants did?
Talking about that, a former Lieutenant Koku Imanaga, who happened to be from Bayelsa State, who also said he witnessed what happened 25 years ago in Udi in River State, was of the opinion, he said something. He said that the problem that they're having is the kind of reprisal attacks coming from the military, according to him, majorly happen in Niger Delta. That selective reprisal attacks actually does not go around the whole federation. We have where military have been killed maybe in the northeast, also killed maybe in the northwest, and even sometimes in the southeast, but they don't get what they're getting from the Niger Delta region. Now, do you actually buy that? Are you in the same?
In fact,
that? Because it happens there in Bayelsa, they've killed, and now they are moving from Delta to Igbomotoru.
I'm surprised why they went to Bayelsa or something like that.
Well, to put it in perspective, it is being alluded that those that led this attack against the military were from Bayelsa.
So, if they have that information, why did it take them so long? You get it? That's why I said they are ill-equipped. You get it? Why did it take them so long? It's after those people would have run away now. We all know that. They would have escaped. Now, I saw on YouTube a woman, let me use a woman or a lady from Niger State, saying that when things like this happen in the north or in Niger State, the government begin to negotiate with the perpetrators. But when it happened in the south, the government sent military, you get it, to do something like this. That was the end I saw about that news. You get? Now,
before you go on, as an educationist, help me break down this English. I mean, English is what we do here. We speak English for a living. Coming from the National Assembly, let me quote this paper now. Senate charges security agencies to what's the word now? To smoke out undesirable outlaws. Are there desirable outlaws?
Well, when you say desirable, and you say outlaw,
are there desirable outlaws?
No. Let me. You said English now. Let's break it now.
Okay.
When you say desirable, and you say outlaw, they mean the same thing. I would say it's tautology.
Tautology.
They mean the same thing. Undesirable.
Now, the reason I pointed this
and
out,
outlaw, they are the same.
The reason I pointed this out is where I think you were going with your analogy of the North.
See, actually, that is what civilians do. They are very careful with the choice of word. And what military does, you get it, is to go, you get, with arms. That's why I was analyzing the two. What they said there, that fish out is the appropriate word. Fish out the...
No, my focus is not the fish out. My focus is on the outlaws. Fish out, smoke out outlaws, fish out outlaws, not fish out undesirable. So the question I'm asking is, are there desirable outlaws?
That's what I'm saying.
Outlaws?
That's what I'm saying. That is when you use the word undesirable
on social media,
you are repeating the same.
On social media, some Nigerians have pointed to the fact. I mean, this is not to condone what happened in Okuama Community. It's a dastardly act, and we are against it, all right? But on social media, some Nigerians are pointing to the fact that military chopper have been brought down in the north. Personnel have been attacked in the north, but we don't see this kind of reprisal attack. So can we say those are desirable outlaws?
I know where you are going, when you were saying that. I know, but since you said grammar, I was just first analyzing the grammar. That's what the ladies, if you see, it's just a civilian, just a common thing that I was saying that. So they are watching too. You get it? They are watching. They are feeling a lot of pains over there. You get it? And they see what the government is doing. And over here, they see what the government is doing. So they now, marry the two together and see that there's inequality there. That's why they are coming boldly to speak. For her to speak on YouTube, that means they are coming out boldly. She wasn't putting on tie or wearing any English wear. She was just wearing this hijab with all this common wear, and she was saying this on YouTube to let you know that they feel that they are being marginalized in this thing. There's inequality because the way the government is talking now in Bayelsa, over 17 military personnel. 16. And the way, is it 17? 16. And the way they've been talking at the other side over what is happening shows that there's inequality in the way they handle issues at different areas. There are areas in which the government is heavily concerned, and there are some areas you feel like, it's mildly concerned.
How do you think the government can handle the situation? And of course, possibly the transparency. To be transparent in handling this, how do you think the government should handle it as compared to what we just mentioned?
The Constitution, let me come down to that. That is the bedrock of our problem. The Constitution.
How do you mean?
See, if any political office holder, I use the word any political office holder, has a case to answer the moment you are leaving, even before you leave office, you get it? We will be having desirable people in government, people who are responsible. The moment they know that, okay, whatever happens, there's consequences, daring consequences for my actions. You see the way they will act. But these days, everybody sees as themselves, the next thing that comes to their mind is that immunity. You get it? The absolute power they have. And this absolute power makes them not to function effectively the way they're supposed to function.
It's the Constitution particularly...
So if you begin to reduce their powers, if you begin to give areas in which even when you are in office, you are accountable, you see that many of them will be on their toes to make sure that there's good governance, because they know that they are not going to escape. Okay. They are going to be responsible. They are going to be brought to book for everything they have done or they are doing. If a politician, you get it, if structures, national structures, state structure can be named after politicians, then that politician's name can be removed.
All right, let's not deviate from what we're talking about. Now, about this, what do you suggest should be the way forward, going forward, with fishing out perpetrators of this dastardly act, and also without harming innocent people in the process?
Intelligence. See, intelligence. The world works intelligently.
Let me remind you of what happened in Udi community in Bayelsa State in 1999.
I was aware.
Yes. After what happened, you're also aware that the government was sued, and there was supposed to be some payment made, about 37 billion naira, thereabout. But then the Jonathan administration settled out of court, where it paid 18 billion to the community for the destruction perpetrated by the military. Are we going to see a repeat of that here?
That's already...
After a while, government will now have to compensate the community for the destruction of properties and the killing of innocent people in the quest of the military to fish out perpetrators.
Yes, it's coming to that. I don't expect the military to just come down like that angrily and then begin to like rampaging everything. I started them to think, strategically. That okay,
what does this say to law and order
That's why I told you earlier on that these militants killed military personnel.
That's a wrong. That's
wrong. Now the military is now killing innocent civilians, which is also wrong.
So two wrongs don't
two
make
wrongs
right.
cannot make anything right. So it has happened. This is where I also fault the DSS and the SSS. You get what I'm saying? Because it is your duty to give information, intelligence. You get it? Now, even before these people even shot the military personnel, there will have been information given to those military personnel that, no, see, something like this is deal, something like this is a deal. You get what I'm saying? Don't do this. That is what we call intelligence. The word works intelligently now. Intelligence. But in Nigeria, you see the DSS showing its face, taking the role of police, so that their primary function is neglected. And that's why you see all this is happening across kidnapping, kidnapper requesting for ransom, telling them they kill some people. You get it? So soldiers killed because there are no intelligent informations given to the security personnel anymore.
Talking about kidnapping and all that in Kaduna.
So they're supposed to go into it is now the work of it. Even if they are in even if they are in Kenya, the intelligence will detect them and they'll be arrested. Even if they run away from that Niger, the Okuama area where that thing happened, and they run down to South Africa, intelligence will get them there and then they will be repatriated.
Okay.
All right, this conversation can go. Sorry.
Yeah, what I actually wanted to ask you, Mr. Lawal, is, we just mentioned kidnapping now, and in Kaduna State, 16 more people have been kidnapped again. No, 16 more people have been kidnapped again. This happened yesterday or thereabout. Yeah. Previously we heard about how children were being in drones moved out of their school. We also heard about other people that were kidnapped, that the ransom of 40 trillion was placed on their head and 1 billion on the head of the children that were kidnapped from school. Federal government have said no payment of ransom to kidnappers. In fact, if you do that now, it's a crime. Now, with this recent kidnapping in Kaduna, do you actually, what do you think actually will be the fate of the kidnapped victims?
The government said no payment of ransom. Very good. But what is your strategy? What's your strategy? If you have a strategy on board, we will not be seeing multiple kidnapping again. You get it? In fact, the kidnappers will be going through serious difficulties because of one, they have kidnapped, because the government is taking action. But now we are seeing multiple, to let you know that even when the government said no ransom pay to be paid, no action is following it. You get what I'm saying? Now the people want the people want their kidnapped families back. You are telling them don't pay ransom, and then no action, serious action is taken, because what shows us that government is not taking any action is that there's another kidnapping and another or from the same area, another kidnapping and that. So if you now had all the kidnappings together, that means the place where the bandits are keeping the kidnapped victims is not a hidden place. Do you agree with that? Because the number is so large now. It's not you can't keep them inside a room. You can't keep them inside a hut. You have to keep them in a large expanse of land.
Right.
So
that is assuming that it is the same set of people.
No, see, listen to me. Here you put 200 people. There you put 50. There you put 10. There you put. You now got that. You now draw a map and say that within this area, this is where the people are kidnapped. So it's open.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go on and on with this conversation because it's still on the hearts of a lot of Nigerians. But for the sake of the program, we'll put a pin on that one and maybe come back to it in a later date. But in the meantime, let's look at what we'll be discussing next. SANU, NASU begin strike as NLC berates the government for withholding salaries. 4 months. 4 months without some salaries not being paid. Well, let's talk about this one when we come back from this break.